You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
You are now tuned in to the number one podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
Yo, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to WATE, the world according to Eli. I'm your host, Eli. This is my side coast, Dad.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Welcome to another episode of The WATE. You call me your side coast?
Yeah, my bad. I meant to say side host, whatever. Side coast. You know what I mean, guys.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's what happens when we take an extra week off.
Yeah.
For vacation.
But I'm feeling good. He's feeling good. My birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday.
My birthday was yesterday. I'm 20 now. Appreciate the happy birthday wishes from everybody.
Absolutely. A lot of love came through. A lot of love.
So, yeah, let's get into this NFL stuff.
Let's start this pop. Let's get this thing popping. Get this party started.
Yeah.
Birthday edition.
My Patriots are in trouble.
Patriots are in trouble.
My Patriots are definitely in trouble. We played the Texans in Houston, and I'm noticing that, one, my defense is starting to get tired because Tom Brady's not staying on the field long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like he's marching down the field now,
but he's not putting together those runs.
Right,
which
he's not
eat
putting
up
together
the clock. Yes,
and he's not right. He's not eating up the clock enough for my defense to get rest once they get to stop.
Absolutely.
Right, because then when the first quarter we was looking good, got to Deshaun, this and the other, making it difficult on their wide receivers.
Yes.
I believe Deshaun didn't even throw to Hopkins the first quarter.
Right.
Because he had Gilmore on him.
And Gilmore is a top notch defender.
Side note, they're still barking on social media. I like that.
Them two?
Yeah, those two in particular.
Okay.
Even though the game was already over, but anyway. But what's happening is he's getting the time that he needs now because Wynn came back. The left tackle.
The left tackle. Okay, so now Brady's getting the time he needs. Okay.
Right, he's getting the time he needs, but now it's starting to become, okay, we get down to the 50-yard line, we can't get past that, now we got to punt. Or we get down to the red zone, we can't get in the end zone now.
Three, and you're settling for three.
Right, settling for kicks, which we normally, Bill can't handle that. See, Bill can't tell the offense, okay, get us, only hold this, get us a field goal kick, and then tell the defense to still hold it down.
Got you.
If it was TDs, then that'd be different. Because he'd be like, okay, Thomas is doing his job. I just need to hold this lead.
Okay.
But I'm also noticing that the 49ers and the Patriots defense is struggling against mobile quarterbacks.
Well, we'll talk more about that in depth.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about on defense in particular because we are one of the top defenses in the NFL.
Right.
But that's the second time I'm seeing a mobile quarterback exploit our defense.
Right, because the mobile quarterback is unpredictable.
Right, because not to cut you off, but Deshaun, all his TDs came out outside of the pocket. Once he got once you moved him off his target, he started finding wide receivers wide open.
Right, because you really can't game plan too much for that.
Right.
That is an organic thing with these running quarterbacks who have the instinct to just get out of the pocket and keep the play alive.
Absolutely.
And when you keep plays alive in that magnitude, you have a greater chance of winning ball games.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm noticing is what I've always said this year. I thought the defense was stellar.
Right.
I think Tom Brady is losing a step. We will talk about that in greater detail a little later in the show. But against the better teams, there's going to be a time when Tom is going to have to deliver.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't just totally rely on your defense to get that done.
And you and Malcolm both told me, look, the defense is stellar, but one of these games, like you just said, one of these games, the offense is going to have to pick up the defense.
Absolutely.
Because you can't, as a top-ranked defense, or one of the top-ranked defenses, you can't run through teams for 16 games straight.
Right, absolutely. And you can't expect to have a stellar defense every game
There's going to have to be times when you guys have to step your own game up.
And I was thinking about this in terms of the Broncos in 2015 when they won their Super Bowl 50 championship. That was different, too, because Payne got hurt the last 4 games of the regular season, where you brought in a fresh quarterback who has an arm, who can get down the field and get you TDs.
And that gave Peyton the rest he needed.
Right.
And then they brought him back in at halftime.
Right, of the
playoff game.
Of the playoff game, right.
And he won the game.
Right.
And then that's how he got his job back.
Right.
And then, the rest.
Plus we knew as a organization that still you're not going to bench a legendary.
You're not going to bench a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right. So we knew that was going to take place eventually.
So that's a little different because we got a rookie quarterback. It's not like we have Jacoby Brissett where we can risk it.
Right.
And be like.
And you can't risk it if Brady not hurt.
Right.
You can't sit
that's
Brady
true.
and say, well, we just sitting you. It has to be, something causing that sit. But in this event, we'll speak in detail. Like I said, this will be our debate topic if Tom has lost it. But the Patriots are in trouble.
We're in trouble. We got the Kansas City next, so we'll see how that goes this week. But the Ravens beat the 49ers.
That was the game of the week.
Yeah, that was the game of the week, and I was gonna say that was huge for both teams because that was a critical loss to the 49ers because the Seahawks ended up winning that Monday night game.
Right, absolutely.
What was it? 2 days ago or yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
So that was huge, and then that was an impressive win against another top defense for the Ravens because that's now they beat number 1 and number 2 defenses in the league.
Yes, and that tells me that they're primed for a huge playoff run.
Right,
and they're a team you probably don't want to have to see.
And I saw this on their social media page where Lamar fumbled the ball critical. It was a critical fumble. And he was feeling upset, and the guys was picking him up like, dude, we got you.
We got you, and he was apologizing.
Right, he was apologizing. They're like, don't apologize for nothing. Nah, I got you.
Right. But that shows the humility of a young quarterback.
Right.
Yes.
And the fact that, dude, you just because you made one mistake doesn't mean the last because they're on an 8-game winning streak. The last 7 games that you've been winning, we trust you now. Like we got us enough wins now to where you're our guy.
Absolutely. You're our guy. We trust you. And the way they're rallying behind him,
right?
It gives him the confidence.
It would be different if the chemistry wasn't on and they was like 4 in the last 8 games. They were 4-4.
Right.
Then they'd be like,
right, and that becomes a critical fumble that may have cost you a playoff spot or something. They're rolling. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like.
They got Buffalo this week.
Oh, that's gonna be a good
game.
In
Buffalo.
And Buffalo, I got Buffalo winning that game, but I got Buffalo winning that game.
But I'm still impressed with them. They got 8 straight wins. It looks like, and now they got the number 1 spot because we lost that Sunday night game.
Yes.
So now it's like they're the team to beat.
And the 49ers, who've only got their 2nd loss, but can wind up being in the 5th seed.
But it's against 2 teams that you should have beaten. The Monday night game against the Seahawks, that was a huge loss for y'all. They obviously knew that because that was the first time.
Yes, they lost.
Right. Yeah. And 2, you lost to the Ravens, which you knew you shouldn't have. You knew you had to win because the Seahawks was right behind you.
And you also just mentioned it. Look at the 2 teams they lost to 2 mobile quarterbacks.
Right.
Russell Wilson
and Lamar
Jackson. So it's this is a copycat league.
Right.
So other GMs, you know what they're doing, right?
Right. Yeah. They're studying. Like, I think.
And they're trying to get them a mobile quarterback.
Right. And like for example, the dark horse, which nobody's really talking about, is the Cardinals.
Right.
So they have a mobile quarterback already.
Yes, they do.
They just need to get their wins up.
And they're in a tough division.
But like
because Seattle, the Rams, and the 49ers, they're all good teams.
But once they figure out whatever thing that works for him. Because it's also a college coach that they also hired.
Yes.
Around the same time they got him.
Who's bringing in
Kyle Murray?
Who's bringing in that young, brilliant offensive mind.
So hopefully that works out, and now you have 3 mobile quarterbacks, 2 in the NFC and 1 in the no, actually you also have 2 as well. Because I forgot about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, don't forget about Deshaun Watson. There are a couple of other mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, when healthy, is a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, he's just not as fast as those other mobile.
No, but he's big.
But he's big, so he can take the hits.
He can take a few more hits and get a few more yards. So that could play into it. This is going to be interesting coming down the stretch.
Very interesting. We have at least 5 bona fide teams, and 5 of them are 10-2. The Seahawks are 10-2. The Saints are 10-2. The Ravens are 10-2. Patriots are 10-2. And
the Saints are 9-3.
No, that's the Packers.
Oh, all right, that's the Packers. The Packers are
9-3.
Right, absolutely.
And did I name how many? I at least named 4.
Right.
Yeah, but
and so that's gonna come down to.
That's gonna come down to the wire. Yeah,
it's gonna come down to the wire, man.
So let's talk about a very good team who we didn't think that was gonna be that good this year. The Buffalo Bills. They beat the Cowboys 26-15.
Oh, they slaughtered the Cowboys.
And I told him when they was like 6-2. I said, watch out for the Bills.
The reason I wasn't too concerned, because I've seen the Bills do this before. Granted, they're under a new regime.
Are you talking about in the 90s? Or are you talking
about every year? They start out 4-0 or 5-1, and people get excited, and it's a grind.
Right.
So by the time we get to week 13, 14, 15, is usually when they taper off.
Right.
However,
this hasn't happened. Their quarterback has got an amazing arm. Absolutely.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They have a good running game, and their defense is solid.
Right.
They're getting after you on the defensive end. So that could be the difference this year.
Yeah.
Especially if they wind up, which they won't, but if they got a home game in there.
No, look. Here's the thing.
If y'all keep playing around.
Right. Speaking of that. They have the Ravens in Buffalo. I'm still taking the Ravens in that because I need the Ravens to win that game.
Yes.
If they end up winning that game 2 weeks from now, they have to go into New England, and that's going to be for the division.
Yes, and that could be
that
could be the game of the year,
because if the Patriots end up slipping up and not taking it seriously, or whatever, or it just ends up happening that we lose. Now we're in the 5th spot, and they're in the number 2 to 1 spot, because now they got the edge over the Ravens.
Right. Let's say they beat the Ravens.
Right.
And what happens here is also the Patriots have to have home field advantage to win.
Yeah.
They're not built for going on the road 3 times.
Right. They're built to go on the road that one final game.
Right. If they have to travel for the AFC,
like if we have to travel to Baltimore
for the AFC Championship game, right?
They can handle that. I've seen them do that last year when they had to go into Kansas City.
Absolutely, but to have to win 3 games,
yeah, no,
that's a lot to ask for teams that are no longer afraid, of the Patriots the way they usually are.
Right. So let's flip the script a little bit and let's talk about your Cowboys.
Yeah, they stink.
Because one moment they were 6-4.
They was actually 6-3.
No,
they've lost 3 straight games. They've lost 3 straight games.
Wait, no,
they won 3. They lost 3.
Okay, wait. I thought but when they faced the Patriots, wasn't they 6-4?
Yeah, but meaning they were 6-3. And they lost the week before.
All right.
To Buffalo or whoever.
Right.
Then they faced the Patriots. They were 6-4.
Yeah.
They became 6-5, and this week they became 6-6.
Right.
So this is the most up and down team.
And then on top of that, you have the Eagles,
who can't do no better.
Who have it? They have the division in their hand.
The Cowboys are saying, please take this division,
because it's not going to be it's not going to be the Redskins or the Giants.
So what happens now is, this is going to come down to the final game of the season between those 2 teams.
Right.
And whoever wins that game by default will win that division and get a home game. And we want to speak about that too, because
absolutely, because I was watching the standings on both sides, and there was we're talking about the division setup. I don't like the way it's set up now. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but But yeah, I'm happy for the Bills though, because it shows promise that the AFC East is not going to stay this weak forever.
And believe it or not, even the Jets, who had won 3 in a row,
but they lost to the Bengals,
and then they had an opportunity to beat the worst team in the league and create a 4-game winning streak.
The Bengals was 0-13, I believe.
Yes, and you lose 0-12, And here's my thing. Even though you know you're not going to the playoff, I'm speaking from the Jets' perspective. Anytime you could put a 4-game winning streak together.
Right, and the last little stretch.
Yeah, it don't matter what the teams was.
Right.
That says we're heading in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And then you take 3 giant steps back.
Yeah.
With a loss to the Bengals. Really makes no sense.
Absolutely, man. So we'll see what happens with that. We have the Chiefs beating the Raiders 40-9. The Chiefs surprised me in this aspect because I didn't like the way that they played against the week before. I forgot what team it was. Forgive me for that, but
I think they won 2 in a row, but it wasn't a convincing.
Yeah,
game.
that second win wasn't convincing to me.
Gotcha.
They looked a little shaky. I think Patrick Mahomes wasn't fully healthy yet from his kneecap injury. And, you know, I just felt like, okay, the defense still is not as solid as it was last year.
Right. But a win is a win.
A win. And this was a huge win because the Raiders...
It's a divisional win.
It was, right. It was a huge win because it was a divisional win and the Raiders lost the week before to the Jets.
Right.
We wasn't expecting that. And
so they're pretenders as well.
Right. And
when we thought the Raiders maybe would take 2 steps forward.
Right. And then I was thinking, okay, cool. When they face off against each other, this is going to be for the division. So meaning one of these teams is going to be in the hunt, and one of these teams is going to be in the playoffs hunt.
Right.
You know, in the playoff
Absolutely.
spot. But they got spanked. Once again, I don't know what's up with the Raiders. They're kind of on and off to me. But you're still. I mean, I'm still going to give them a shot.
No, I'm not going to give them much of a shot. I think Kansas City is getting healthy.
Right.
I think Kansas City is one of those dark horse teams where, let's say they win the next 4 games.
Right.
That's a team you don't want to face.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm going to put my eggs in the Kansas City basket and think that they're going to correct anything that they need to correct on the defensive end.
Right.
And make a move. I think the Raiders are pretenders. I don't think they have enough to get it done. I don't like their quarterback. I never did.
John Gruden doesn't either.
Right.
I see it on his face.
Right.
He doesn't.
So he wants to. Whenever you take over a team, a head coach wants his own man, his own quarterback.
And that was the only piece that he wasn't able to move just yet when he first got there.
Right.
Because I think they had to either just sign him or the year before, Derek Carr had got them to 12-4.
Yes.
And, you know.
So that was worthy enough to keep him around.
Right.
But I think Kansas City wins that division.
Yeah.
And I think Kansas City either facing New England or Baltimore is going to be tough.
Or the Texans, because they might have to face the Texans.
Or they may have to face the Texans. They may have to go into... No, I think...
No. I'm sorry. You're right. Because they're either going to have to either just face the Patriots or the Ravens.
Right. They'll win their division.
Right. So, you know. But we'll see. But I'm impressed with the Chiefs. I'm happy for Patrick Mahomes coming back.
Yes, I think he's finally starting to hit his groove a little bit.
Right, and even when he didn't get hurt, I did think he was going to have a fight to put up his MVP.
Well, because now
defended.
There are teams who have data
on him, yeah.
They have the film to watch.
And it's going to be the same thing next year for Lamar.
It's going to be the same thing for Lamar. Even though this ain't Lamar's first year.
No, but because last year...
This is his breakout year.
Right, this is his breakout year. Because last year... It was Patrick Mahomes' breakout year.
Right.
So
didn't Lamar? They almost won a playoff game last year. He had a bad game. I think he threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Or something really weird.
Or he had a shot to get in.
Which is one of his growing pains.
Yeah.
As a rookie, and he'll get better at that.
Right. And then we have the Monday night game, which we just somewhat talked about.
Oh, that was
Seahawks
good.
Versus the Vikings. I have to give credit to Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Even
though he's 0-8. Monday night games.
He's 0-8 in Monday night games. But I still have to give him credit for this aspect because I thought Case Keenum was the better fit for them. He had just taken them to the NFC and it was very close to having the Super Bowl in their own building.
Oh, that was close.
I think that was that was going to be one of those moments where you saw the Seahawks a couple years back and you said you didn't want to face, no team wanted to face the Seahawks or the 49ers. Right. Because of their defense.
Absolutely.
But I felt that Case Keenum was a better fit. But Kirk Cousins with Diggs and thinking the other wide receiver.
Why is that the
There's Rudolph. There's Rudolph as a tight end, and then there's Stanton.
Thieton.
As the other wide receiver.
I think he got hurt in that game and he didn't come back.
He possibly did,
and that may have been the difference in the game.
People are starting to get confused with the play action because I've seen the Vikings do the play action so many times to where they're leaving their wide receivers wide open to where Kirk Cousins is
and these guys are wide open.
Right, and it's making Kirk Cousins look like an elite quarterback.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. Because that means you know what you're doing. You're comfortable under the system.
And watching them play Seattle, 2 or 3 plays here and there.
Yeah, it could have been a solid win for the Vikings.
Right,
they
right.
needed
It
that
could have
win.
went the other way, but Seattle's won more games this year. I think they're 5-0 of games won by 4 points or less.
Right.
So that is showing that they're winning close games.
Absolutely.
That's showing that Russell Wilson
knows what he's doing. And this goes back to because I said that I don't think the Seahawks are going to recover from Super Bowl 49 or for the mistake that Pete Carroll made.
Yes.
And you told me once you have a solid franchise quarterback, the rest of it will figure itself out.
Yeah. Everything starts with the franchise quarterback.
Right.
So even though Pete Carroll made a lot of mistakes, not giving the ball to beast mode, and it caused dissension in the locker room.
Absolutely.
When all the smoke clears, when you have to rebuild, if you're not looking for a franchise quarterback,
the rest of it
can kind of fall in place. So they put their money and their faith behind Wilson.
And he's had eight consecutive seasons with winning
seasons and 3,000 yards.
Right.
Only
behind I think Tom Brady and
Peyton Manning. Only other quarterbacks to do that. So
that's
a symbol of consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. And no matter what pieces we're struggling with, I can, as long as you trust me, I can get it done.
Absolutely. So this is panning out to be one of those amazing things.
Real quick, how well do you think? Okay, do you see the Seahawks holding this lead in terms of the division and the number one?
I need to see their schedule because the next one loss could cost you everything.
Right.
So, but what that does is that puts these teams in playoff mode early.
Every game.
Every game, the 49ers know we can't lose. Seattle knows we can't lose because even though Seattle and 49ers will play one more time.
Right.
So
and that's the last game of the season.
If either one of them teams lose a game, they still can make it up in the final game of the season. But again, that puts those teams in playoff mode, and I'm not sure you want to face them.
Okay, so speaking of one of these games that they could lose, who's more likely, the 49ers against the Saints in New Orleans, or the Seahawks against the Rams, and I think they're playing in Los Angeles?
I would say the 49ers against the Saints. However, the 49ers against those quarterbacks that just stand there in the pocket.
Yeah, sure.
They getting after you. So, and again, the Rams and Seattle, but that's a divisional game.
That is, and the Rams can't get it done.
And the Rams are feeling they're still in it.
Right.
They're still in the playoff hunt. So they might feel like this is a signature game for us. So I'm going to say Seattle's going to be in more trouble now that I think about it. Okay. Only because it's a divisional game.
Okay. I can agree with that. I can somewhat. Okay, so now we have Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. I found this out, that they haven't lost in the same weekend since November 5th to 6th, 2011.
Wow. Let's clap that up. That's
what's the word that you always like to use? Flabbergasted or not? Yeah, somewhat flabbergasted.
I don't think that's the word.
That's not the word, but it'll come.
But it is an amazing feat.
Yeah,
and it shows again
unorthodox. Like that's just
Yeah, it's like an anomaly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the word.
Right. It's an anomaly that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
But it also is a signature of success.
Right. Because
between these two guys.
That's 8 years.
It's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time. And again, these two coaches, when you talk about excellence
and dynasties
you really can't talk much more about two other coaches.
Yeah.
Except this year, Nick Saban is in trouble.
Right, because the two guys, he lost two guys.
He lost his franchise.
But here's the thing.
I can't say franchise when we talk college.
Right.
But when we talking, his star player.
And here's the thing. For Bill, it's a little bit hard to give him that credit because he's always had time.
Right.
Nick, he's always had fresh quarterbacks.
And it's a revolving door. Yes.
And he's like Bill, he most likely focused on the defense.
But the advantage that Nick has is he's recruiting the best players.
Right.
Every year. You want to go play for Alabama. So it's like if Belichick had a chance to recruit the best linebackers.
It would be a wrap.
So it kind of pans out.
Yeah.
You know, kind of evens out, so to speak.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. The Jaguars are going to bench Nick Foles after he just started 2 weeks.
Now, I don't know if it's because he still has a lot of rust on him.
Right.
But he has a big contract they paid him.
Yeah.
And for them to go back to Miss Chu, what's his name? Minshaw Jr., for them to go back to him, it says a lot about where they think this franchise is going.
Yeah, because
we felt Nick was going to be the
right.
future for them.
And obviously in the beginning, I felt like, okay, cool. They have a solid quarterback talking with the Jaguars.
And you know they had a solid defense.
They have a solid defense, even though they gave away Ramsey, but that was later.
And watch this. If Nick Foles had started 4-0, 5-0,
right,
maybe they don't get rid of Ramsey.
Absolutely.
Because they figure they have a shot.
And Campbell in the defensive end.
Right.
Who's one of their best line rushers, you know, getting to the ball as well. Because now you have a solidary secondary and a defensive line.
Right, which is the formula to put the pressure on the quarterback and make some things happen.
Absolutely. So then to have Nick Foles start for the first 2 weeks, and I guess maybe
remember he got hurt.
No. I'm talking about these last 2 weeks.
These
last 2 weeks. Maybe it's because the season's already over for them.
I'm not sure he's fully healed.
Right.
So a lot of times you get out there and they clear you
because we thought he was out for the season. Thought he was out for the season.
So sometimes they clear you and you can't make the throws you need to throw, and they go, you know what? Let's not risk it for this season that he get hurt again. Let's bring the rookie back in or the backup and give him an opportunity. We can look at him because they paid Nick Foles $130 million or something.
Absolutely.
Something crazy.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to just let that walk away, not for that kind of money.
And like we said, the Jaguars wasn't even my spot for him to go. It was It was the Broncos,
which would have been better off. Yes.
Yeah. So but we'll see what happens.
I think the Broncos gonna have a sale now.
Yeah.
They got to get rid of
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. What's the linebacker name?
Von Miller.
They got to get rid of Von and some other players and just go rebuild.
Yeah.
Von Miller can go somewhere and really help the team.
Yeah.
He's already a Super Bowl champ.
Sure, if you can get him,
and he's an MVP. Didn't he win the MVP?
And he's an MVP. Yeah. If you can get him with the Texans, then hopefully, or you replace him with J.J. Watt.
Right.
On that same, because they play the same side.
Yes.
Because
then you extend his life as a football player.
Yeah.
Because once you start losing, it gets a little crazy.
Right. So let's talk about these divisional records.
Right. We decided we don't feel it's right for a team to have 12 wins
and
have to play a wild card game. And you have 7 wins. Right. And you get a home
because it was the same thing with the NBA.
Right.
One of those years, we forgot which one. It was like 2014, 2015.
Right.
Long story short, the Spurs were the number 2 seed.
Yes.
And the Rockets were the number 6 seed.
Yes.
At the last game of the season, the Spurs lost and the Rockets won, and it was a 4 seed switch.
Right. And it really messed the Spurs up.
Right, because they ended up losing to the Clippers.
Right, when they wouldn't have to face the Clippers.
Right, until, the second or third round.
Absolutely.
Or whatnot. And but eventually Adam Silver fixed that.
Yes. He saw the need for change, and I think football is going to have to do the same thing.
You're going to have to do 2 things, which the second thing I'm cool with, but you feel like they need to add 2 more teams so then we don't have any more buys. Yes,
that's another thing. I think 2 more teams mean everybody play every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what that does is...
Because it does leave a disadvantage for the first 2 teams.
Well, understanding if you win your division and you have the best record, maybe you should have a break there. But the basketball don't have no first week buys.
But that's the thing. And
you got to play.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. Because
you got to play, injury could happen.
Right.
Which could make the number 1 team now lose.
Right.
And in football, it's 1 game.
Because that's what happened. As a matter of fact, that's what happened with the Raiders. They were 12-4. They lost their spot, and they had to face the Texans in Houston.
Yes.
And that messed them up.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but long story short, because I was looking at it, it was the Saints at 1, the Seahawks at 2, and then you had the Cowboys who are 6-6 at 3.
Yeah.
You have who's the other division? The Packers.
Right.
I'm sorry,
so the Packers are at 3, the Cowboys at 4.
4, right.
Right.
And then you have the 10-2 49ers in the wild card at 5 or 6.
Right. But what that also means is, if it plays out like that, the 49ers are going to go into Dallas and smash them.
No, absolutely.
Or Seattle.
But we're just saying.
But it's still not fair.
Just do it based off of the best record.
Dallas should have to go across country and face the 49ers.
Cut the whole division thing out and just give us the 4 best teams who have the 4 best, records.
Absolutely.
And then the rest of it, and then add 2 more teams into that.
Absolutely.
So,
2 more teams into the mix. That's what we're pushing for.
Oh, yeah. NBA news.
NBA news.
Yeah. So what week are we in the NBA? Like week 7?
Week 7, dude. The Lakers. Oh yeah, week 7, right?
Yeah, like around.
I'm 18 and NBA. 6-7 weeks in. Yeah.
The Lakers won last night.
Yes, as they should.
No, but I know you was worried because they have a back-to-back.
Right, and they had lost the game before that. And I just didn't want them to get on any kind of losing streak. But I'm very impressed with Anthony Davis's defense.
Yeah.
He's really, now that I'm watching him more.
Way more, right.
Because I didn't watch him much in New Orleans. He covers a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And he really shut Jokic down last night.
Absolutely.
And that was a signature win for me.
Yeah, I have Utah tonight.
We have Utah tonight. I think that's a dub for the Lakers. The Clippers have now emerged as the second best team.
Okay, so speaking of I'm going to defend Kyle Kuzma because I watched the Clippers last night, and trust me, you don't have anything to worry about. Like, I like what the Clippers are doing, but I still have the Lakers at that top dog. And don't get me wrong, I do expect y'all to make a trade in February or January, but I don't think Kuzma is going to be that piece to move.
I have to move Kuzma and KCP.
No, KCP
and maybe a first round.
KCP
pick.
we get because we saw LeBron earlier yell at LeBron at KCP for not making the lane. Like he's starting to play pedestrian or like
yes. And he's not a fan favorite.
Right. And he's not a fan favorite. But I'm just saying there's a lot of sloppiness when it comes to the Clippers. I was watching them. There's a lot of sloppiness when it comes to them as well. To where it's not so. I don't see the gap between those 2 teams.
Well, again, I think the Clippers play up to the competition. So,
okay, yeah.
In that Christmas game, which is the next time they face each other,
right,
everything is going to be on display.
Right, okay.
We're going to see. I didn't like the way the Lakers used Anthony Davis in the first game of the season. I thought LeBron was trying too hard
to get him
to
involved,
just get Anthony Davis the ball. Now I think they have an identity.
Right.
And I think you'll see a more cohesive unit from the Lakers.
Yeah, but I was just saying I didn't see the not fear, but I didn't see the concern that you did with the Clippers.
Well, man, when they put that second unit in,
I did see that though.
Yeah, they usually bring a certain amount of hunger.
I did see that, but I see it.
And I think the Lakers need to shore up their second unit.
Right.
So to me, DeMarcus DeRozan. What's his name?
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan. Yes, I said DeMarcus.
Yeah.
I think if they make a trade for somebody like him, he neutralizes Lou Williams. He becomes the guy we can bring off the bench.
Right.
And in the fourth quarter, he'll be in the game. So it's not
so you would still start Danning over him?
Yeah, because Danning is a 3-point.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And a better defender.
Yeah, okay.
So you need somebody to stretch the floor.
But you're going to have to convince that for DeMar because, he's young and he's not going to... You're going to have to convince him his ego.
I think LeBron telling him, listen, when the game start, you won't be in there, but when the game ends, most likely you're going to be out there with us. And if you want to win a chip, this is what it may require for you to do.
Absolutely.
And if you want some revenge on Kawhi Leonard,
Speaking of Kawhi, you need. I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to fix it now. Because he's gonna be their kryptonite if he doesn't.
Yeah, he looked bad the other day.
I saw him last night. He shot 4 for 12, while Paul George was shooting 6 from 7 from the 3-point line.
Right.
Like you're gonna be the kryptonite, but we saw that in the finals.
Yes. So I believe that they have some things to work out too.
Yeah.
But the Lakers got to make one more move. That's just my humble
Absolutely.
opinion.
So Woj, we found a breaking news report earlier this week that Woj was talking about the NBA future-wise going ahead.
Right. That they're gonna make some changes.
Yeah, some 4 major changes, which is they're gonna try to reduce the games to 78. I said 70 at least.
At least 70 games. Yeah, it's a lot of bad. And their rating and the ratings of the NBA is down 22% because it's a lot of meaningless games.
And because LeBron is no longer in the East and he's in the West.
Yes.
Those 8:00 games that you used to have.
Oh, absolutely.
And also too because Kevin Durant is not back. Because normally I think Kevin Durant would fix most of that.
Right. Because you would have been able to at least keep your eye on him.
On the Brooklyn and Kyrie.
Absolutely.
But the fact that nobody's really in the East to really put their face on besides Giannis, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then reduce the game down to 78. They're gonna have this play-in tournament.
A mid-season play-in tournament that starts after Thanksgiving and goes to the end of December,
which is not bad. Actually.
And it's a some kind of round robin.
Right, where I think every team is involved, and then whoever gets bumped, I guess, because doesn't somebody get bumped and then we end up making it to the final 16? I guess
it's something really weird. That they're trying to do.
Right, and then we have they're gonna change the playoff format, so they won't be East versus West. It'll be
top 16 teams.
Top 16 teams, and it could be 2 Eastern teams in the finals or 2 Western teams in the finals.
And it could be 12 Western teams or 8 Western Conference teams or 12 and only 4 Eastern Conference teams.
Right.
Because if it's the top 16 teams, because how many years have we seen a West Coast team get 50 wins and not make the playoffs?
Right.
Because, of the Eastern standings.
Absolutely.
So now, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, that is.
And because we really want to see, a lot of times, the Western Conference Finals is the final.
Yeah.
And years ago, it used to be the other way around. Whoever Jordan was playing was the finals.
Right.
So now you'll wind up getting the best 2 teams, no matter who they are. I like that.
The last 3 Western Conferences, we were saying Houston or Golden State's gonna win the championship.
Right.
Besides this, because I'm not talking about Portland now. I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Houston overall. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. I like most of the moves. I still need to know what the tournament is.
And this tournament, if you win it, you get an extra draft pick or something.
I like that.
That's some kind of incentive. Yeah, we'll see.
That was cool. But,
And they're talking in the 21-22 season, so not next year, the year after next.
Right.
And they've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's something that's going to pan out.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
So the Lakers also played the Dallas Mavericks. We're just gonna talk about Luka really, and LeBron.
Yeah, Luka is on an MVP kind of run here.
Right, and this was the second time he faced LeBron, but he got LeBron back with the little step back. That.
He wet him. He wet him with that.
Yeah.
And this guy averaged had a 30-point triple-double average.
Yeah.
For the month of
what month?
September.
September, yeah.
Let's clap that up. You know what I mean? So. That was good.
He just had his career high in rebounds yesterday.
At 18 rebounds a game. And they're one of the highest scoring teams. And when Porzingis actually gets his legs up under him. And then they'll add one more wing player.
It's definitely going to be my generation of Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash, except that Luka's bigger.
Absolutely. I think we're going to look forward to that. And they're going to be a team... When the playoffs start, you're not going to want to face them.
And side note, I like how Mark Cuban fixed that because he said in an interview a couple months ago, he said, I messed that up the first time.
Right.
He said, I didn't want Steve Nash to go, but it just kind of happened.
Right, and I messed it up. I should have kept that together.
Yeah.
They probably could have pulled out.
Yeah, at least one or two.
Well, they did win one. Yeah, they could have won 2.
No, they didn't win the championship.
No, they got Jason Kidd, they won it.
Oh, right. But I'm talking about Steve Nash.
With Steve Nash, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant like with Steve Nash. But yeah, with Steve Nash, they could have won 2 or 3.
Absolutely.
And then, so I'm happy that he fixed that.
Yes.
So now we have the Bucks. They're on the roll. I think they won 12 straight.
Oh, they've won 12 in a row. And, man, the way he dunked it on Julius Randle. No.
Oh.
He backed from the Knicks. He just backed this dude down. And it just looked like a man playing against boys. You better keep an eye on Giannis because they are quietly Still handling their business.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna hurt him: his shooting.
It hasn't hurt him so far.
And his free, dude, he hasn't made a free throw.
Yeah, he's a little off.
But once that starts, okay, if I can't make a free throw, all right, well, leave him open and see what happens. Because to his credit, though, when he was playing Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals, he did make 4 critical threes that I didn't think he was gonna make.
Yes, because the difference between him and like a Ben Simmons is he will shoot it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether he makes it or not is something. But if he takes 10 and makes 2 or 3, you got to kind of live with the results of that.
Right.
But we do know in the playoffs, teams are going to back off him
because the rest of his
have to hit that.
The rest of his accolades is money. Like a beautiful rebounder,
a defender.
He has a speed like a LeBron,
and he passes the ball.
He passes the ball. Like the only thing he needs to work on is his shooting.
Absolutely. And I believe he eventually will get that.
Right. I think they're getting Chris Middleton back soon.
He's back. He's back.
He's back.
He's back. He's working his way into shape, but he's back.
Gotcha. So, we'll see what happens. I still have 3 more teams I think can beat them.
In the East?
In the East.
Who?
One of them is Miami.
I don't think they're going to be big enough because they have no answer for Giannis.
True.
No answer.
But if you can cancel him out, all you got to do is go back to the tape.
You can't. Jimmy Butler cannot cancel him out.
No. I'm not talking about God, but I'm talking about make him do everything but take the rest of his teammates out.
Well, then remember, he still got the Lopez brothers.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver.
Right.
It's a nice addition. You still got Bledsoe.
True.
So they have, and Middleton. So they still have, and remember, last year's run gave them a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, true.
So I think Miami's one piece away, and rumor has it DeMar DeRozan might go there.
Yeah.
So if that happens,
now if they get DeMar DeRozan, that changes the ball game as well.
And the East is wide open. I think Boston.
But that's why I said at least 3 teams, because I said
Boston would have a chance to beat them.
I say Boston, Philly, because they do have Al Horford and
Embiid. But they've been playing bad right now.
No.
They got to make a trade and get rid of Ben Simmons or Tobias Harris.
Well,
I think Ben Simmons and Embiid don't play well together.
Hey, you can send Ben Simmons to the Golden State.
To the Warriors, I know you like that.
That would be awesome. And then bring D'Angelo to Philly.
Oh, that's what they would need.
That might work.
That might work.
Yeah, but like I said, Philly, Boston, Miami has a little bit of a dark horse, and I'm missing. Oh, Toronto.
Toronto. You got to keep your eyes on Toronto because Van Vliet and Lowry and these guys and Obi-Wan Kenobi. His name is Onowandi.
Yeah.
I know him Obi-Wan Kenobi. Remember, he wasn't even playing last year.
Right. And he does he get a championship ring?
Yeah, of course, he was on the team. He was on the team. He just wasn't active, and now he's back in the starting lineup.
Right.
So they look like they're defending pretty well.
Absolutely. So now we have Houston. James Harden. He went for 16 3/4.
Yeah, that was an amazing feat.
Could have easily broken Kobe's record.
I'm not sure easily because 20 points in the final quarter when your legs are tired already.
True.
Not an easy task. True. But he would have had a shot at it.
Yeah, I do think he's gonna break it. I was either gonna say him or Clay, but Clay's still out.
And I'm gonna say because Harden shoots so many threes. See, Kobe got 80, not really shooting a lot of threes.
Right.
And Harden also goes to the free throw line.
Right.
So with the 3 and the free throw line, he could have a good shot at getting 80.
Yeah. So but it's still the same. Like I love watching this in the regular season, but if this doesn't
translate over to wins because nobody's gonna drop 65 points on you in the playoffs.
Or not even wins, but if it doesn't translate to playoff wins,
yes,
it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
He becomes a Dan Marino.
Yes.
And I keep using Dan. I love Dan as a quarterback.
Put up a lot of numbers, but can't win a big one.
I'm just using Dan as an example because Dan was always the one that would show off in the regular season. But once you put pressure on him and take away his weapons,
it's really football is really a team sport.
Right.
So I can't put that on Dan per se.
Right.
Where in basketball, I can control both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
I can defend. And I can drop 40.
Absolutely.
So basketball is a little bit more Because even baseball, if I got 3 ace pitchers,
right,
I don't care what your hitters are doing.
right.
They're going to lose.
Right, and we saw that with the Nationals.
We saw it. Absolutely. We definitely did.
Yeah. And Melo got player of the week.
Melo got player of the week. Clap that up, Eli.
He did not deserve it, though.
Why not?
Because James Harden, who dropped 60 and
But James Harden gets it all the time. See, you got to put this in context. I'm gonna give it to you.
There was two bona fide players this week that was way better than.
But when a player who wasn't even in the NBA was in street clothes a week before, comes back, has a week where he gets his legs under him.
He did get a starting job,
and then give him a starting job, and he gives them 3 straight wins. 22-7-4.
So it was more of a appreciation.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
And in context. Now James Harden can drop 60 every game, and it's like, okay, but when you get a player who's just in street clothes,
right,
is able to come in as a starter and do that, I felt that it was their way of apologizing to Melo.
Yeah, absolutely. I can understand.
So
that.
By default he got it. Let's just say.
I can understand that though.
So you want to apologize?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You still had a bad game last night, though.
Okay, that happens.
You kind of still looks like Tim Duncan.
It happens to the best of them.
But your numbers that you are putting up consistently now was way better than I was expecting.
Okay, because he's in a starting position.
It was kind of a backslap apology, but you know.
All right, I'm pretty sure he'll take it any way he can get.
Still an apology, But I am happy that he did get the starting job. He is making it better.
Yes, he is.
He's still hustling out there.
He's out there hustling.
But here's the thing. I didn't know this until last night. Portland is the 29th ISO team.
Oh, so they do a lot of ISO ball,
which worked for him because he does this.
Yeah, he likes the ISO.
He likes the ISO ball, so it worked for him. That was the perfect.
I don't know if that's gonna translate to wins. They play the Lakers on Friday. That's going to be a good game. Yeah. Melo always plays LeBron well.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think the edge goes to Melo, in my humble opinion, when I see them play toe-to-toe.
Yeah, but I think, hasn't your stance on that kind of changed over the years?
Well, LeBron's been more consistent. But Melo still plays ball.
Gotcha,
Melo plays ball.
Okay.
He gets up for those games against his boys.
Right, all right. Well... Oh, yeah, so we have the power rankings.
Give me the power rankings, the 5 top teams.
The Bucks came in at 1.
The Bucks, number 1, I have no argument there.
Yeah,
They won 12 in a row.
Right.
They're in the East handling their business.
Yeah. The Lakers come in at number 2.
No problem there. I think I was surprised how well the Lakers got out of the box and figured out what their identity is in terms of winning.
Right. Raptors at 3.
Raptors at 3. The Raptors.
They've been holding their front.
Yes.
Clippers at 4.
Clippers at 4, and they'll probably move up.
Yeah, because I thought the Clippers should have been at 3 and the Raptors at 4, but I get it because of the low manager. And then 2, the Clippers have
a lot of losses. Clippers got 6 losses.
That's what I was gonna say because the Clippers haven't been on a tear like the Lakers have.
Right.
So I get that. And then the Dallas Mavericks at 5.
Okay. Yeah, because they won a lot of games this month.
Right.
And they are the team to watch.
And I think they're the number 4 seed while Denver is at number 3. Denver's been keeping it consistent as well.
Yep. So that's going to be interesting. So that's our power rankings for this week in the NBA.
Derrick Rose has a message for Zion, which was Derrick says when he was going through his injuries, he was too heavy on his legs. And that caused a lot of his injuries. Re-injuries, which made it seem like he was 35 when he was only 24 to 23 years old.
Absolutely. So his message is you got to lose some weight.
He has to. And
even if there was load management during those time, I think, because we both agreed Thibodeau kind of ran his starters into the ground.
And we didn't know Thibodeau was a hard coach like that.
We had no idea how he was running his practices and how he was running his starters into the ground, which had an effect on them during the playoffs.
But I realized, too, as you were just saying that it works for certain players. Like, when he was with Boston, they had no problem with it because Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, those are hardcore players. Yes. They were used to that.
Right. That's a different kind of animal. And side note, I see Kevin Garnett got at Kyrie Irving
For what?
and said that he wasn't built to play in Boston. That was in today's paper.
I can agree with that because Kyrie is a different kind of cat.
Yeah. So we're seeing that now.
Because he's doing the same thing in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And Michael Rappaport, who I don't usually agree with all the time, but he had a good point, which was we almost saw Dinwiddie become an all-star. We're not going to see that this
right,
year.
because of
the Kyrie
situation.
The Kyrie situation. And then on top of that, you got a 7-foot monster who is also emotional, sitting on the bench.
Yes.
And Kevin Durant.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Still up the game. But yeah, I agree with Derrick Rose's message because it's obvious that even before Zion even stepped on the court, you had to have a 6.
And we saw some issues just on how big he was.
Yeah.
And then we saw him get up, and he wasn't getting all the way up.
Right. And that was weird because a couple months before that, he was getting up the normal.
Tremendously.
Yeah. So
we'll keep an eye on that. We have a Zion watch that will be in play when he gets back into the league.
And once again, we speaking on the Clippers real quick, we love how they're doing. They're 5-0 when they have Paul George and Kawhi playing together. And they haven't fully practiced yet. It was weird.
Right. They haven't had no time to practice. The season is here.
But they're a little sloppy, and by sloppy, I'm just talking about Kawhi, really. He's been a little sloppy. I don't know if that's because he's relying too much on his teammates and not on himself.
Very possible. Very possible.
And also, once again, the low management eventually has to cut off. Because I need to see him go on a 20-game run to really see how good the Clippers are.
Absolutely.
Because other than that, I don't think that low management, even though it works for you in the East, because that was the East.
This is a whole different animal.
That's not going to work for you. That's going to really hurt them. It's already hurting him in his shooting.
It is. Absolutely.
Prior to the first very game against your Lakers where he was going off, now defensively though he has been putting up his numbers though.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
I believe defensive efficiency, he's number 1 in the league.
Right. And Paul is like either 2 or 3 behind that.
And
so
Anthony Davis is in the top 5.
Right. I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying offensively, which is not really his strong suit until recent years.
Well, yeah, recent years he's developed what we call a decent offensive game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we'll see what happens. So you ready for this debate real quick?
Let's get this debate on.
All right, so you go first. Cause
the topic of today's debate is Tom Brady washed up, or does he have time to right the ship?
Right.
Now, my stance is this. Father Time is undefeated. Mm-hmm. The last couple of years watching Tom Brady, you see that he's inaccurate more so than he is accurate. A couple of things have covered up the deficiencies of Tom Brady's game. A great defense, a Super Bowl last year in which both teams looked terrible to me. The game was 3-3, and he happened to put together a drive to win the game. So, sure, he wins the Super Bowl, but it wasn't a all-star performance. I think he's getting slow. I think the fact that he's a timing quarterback and the linebackers and defensive backs are getting faster. He's not a mobile quarterback, and we see teams are moving mobile now. So I think this is the end of the road for
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Okay. Well, my stance is I don't think Tom Brady's washed yet. I think he has still a lot to manage with his routine and regimen. With the Tom Brady 12 diet, he stays himself healthy. With Alex, I think Russo, his trainer, who always consistently works on new regimens to keep his body healthy and young again, even though his mind and his body are even though he's 42 basically.
Absolutely.
And he did just get his left tackle back win.
Okay.
Which made him hold the ball a little bit longer to look at least down the field way longer than he used to.
Okay.
And 2, he's getting it, even though you say he's inaccurate, he's getting it to the wide receiver's hands. They're just not catching it. Because there's new pieces like Sue, Harry, Izzo, who's our new tight end, who is not Gronk. He doesn't have. And then we did have AB like 8 weeks ago, and they got cut.
Yes.
So they don't have a deep threat right now. Their defense is still outstanding. And one thing is, too, even though he's slow, he's still aware of when the pressure is coming.
Okay.
So he's able to move.
So
left.
his in-the-pocket awareness.
His in-the-pocket awareness is still sharp.
Okay.
You know. So
I also say this. Trubisky has a better quarterback rating than Tom Brady does right now.
yeah, it's I think it's 65 to 61.
All right. So
This is the longest he's ever had a lowing. This is the second lowest since 2004. But 2004, we won the Super Bowl.
okay, but he was 2004. He was a lot younger,
True.
right? So I'm gonna say it again. His awareness is still there, but I don't think he physically. And remember, Belichick wanted to trade him.
Yeah, he did.
So Belichick knows what I know.
But
Kraft knows what you know.
Kraft knows I can't sit because Kraft doesn't want a Joe Montana, Brett Favre moment.
Right.
Where I'm going against. We're in the AFC Championship game because of Bill, because of what he does, and then across from there, I see number 12, not in my Patriot colors.
Right.
And then Tom ends up winning it because he has a great defense. Like, let's say the Chicago Bears or something like that. Right, yeah. Something like that. But, and then in the back of his mind, he knows, I should have just let him retire with us.
So I think this year, in my closing pieces, this is it. If they win it, I think he should retire.
Yeah.
If they lose it, I think he should retire.
Well, I think my closing piece is, look, as long as you're in the AFC East and you're still with the Patriots, you still got a shot. All you got to do is win 8 games and then beat at least 4 outside teams who are not in your division. At least get you to 12 wins, and then go from there.
All right, there it is.
But it does hurt you if they don't. I will say if they have the division ranking that we just talked about, it does.
It does
look a little suspect.
Look a little suspect. So there it is. That's our debate for the week. You chime in
y'all can
in
go
the
in the
comment
comments
section and tell us, is Tom Brady washed or if he still has a little something in the tank. All right, so we'll pick our teams for the week.
Okay, guys. Because it was Thanksgiving, we kind of lost the score, but we're just
keeping the score.
Yeah, we're just keeping the score.
In case you want to go out to Vegas and bet on some of the teams that me or Eli pick.
Also, this is not a wager this year.
Not a wager. Next year, when we start at the beginning of the season, we'll wager.
Yeah.
All right, so our Thursday night game is the Cowboys at the Bears.
Yes, sir.
That's a good game.
Give me the Bears.
Okay, Eli will take the Bears.
Because I ain't trusting your Cowboys.
I'm going to take the Cowboys just because. Panthers and Falcons, this divisional game, both of these teams are out of it.
What do you think Cam should do real quick?
And remember, they fired
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Panthers.
You want to give that real quick?
Well, I just think he's been there for at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, but a lot of people felt like he had a winning season. It felt like to me it felt like a Popovich telling the media or telling the NBA, how are you gonna fire David Black after y'all?
In the NFL, you need a new voice at some time.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for a new voice there. Mm-hmm. He will land on his feet because he is a great coach.
Right. Give me the Falcons.
Falcons aren't home. You'll take the Falcons. I'll take the Panthers. Colts at the Buccaneers. Both of these teams are basically out. Colts might still mathematically have a shot.
I think the Colts are somewhat in because they're not that far off.
Okay.
They just replaced the Colts with the Titans right now because the Titans won last week.
Gotcha.
And the Titans beat them.
All right, so who you got in this one?
Who is it? The Lions and the Colts?
It's the Colts and the Buccaneers.
Give me the Colts.
You take the Colts.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I will take the Bucs at home.
Right.
Dolphins and the Jets. Oh boy. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. The Jets disappointed me last week.
Give me the Jets.
You'll take the Jets.
I'll take the Jets.
49ers at the Saints.
Give me the Saints.
You're gonna take the Saints. I'm gonna take the 49ers in that one.
Jazz Town.
Lions and Vikings.
Vikings have to win.
Vikings at home. I'll take the Vikings.
Vikings have to win that.
To stay close. Broncos and Texans. I think we'll both take the
yeah.
Texans in that one. Ravens at the Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
I need the Ravens to actually lose this, but I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Okay.
Because I need that division spot.
You need
more.
both of those teams to lose.
Yeah, but I need the division spot more than
Absolutely.
being 5 in that 5 seed.
Bengals at the Browns. I think we'll both take the Browns.
Yeah.
Right? Redskins at the Packers. I think we'll both take the Packers. Chargers at the Jaguars.
Chargers.
Chargers.
No, yeah. Give me the Chargers just because.
All right. I'll take the Jaguars just because. Steelers at the Cardinals. That's going to be a good game.
Steelers have to win that.
They have to stay alive, right?
Because they also have a shot to, if the Bills end up winning, they have a shot to get the number 1
Right.
division spot.
Titans at the Raiders. Raiders.
Give me the Titans. I'm impressed with how they won last week.
I'm going to take the Raiders.
They're gritty.
Chiefs at the Patriots. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
That's a big one.
Seahawks at the Rams.
Seahawks,
yeah.
Seahawks.
I too will take the Seahawks. And the Giants at the Eagles. I'll take
Eli.
I'll take the Eagles.
Eli's gonna start.
And
I'm just saying.
who you got?
I'd take the Giants.
All right.
I'm happy that Eli's gonna start.
And that's our Week 14 picks. Eli, where can we be reached?
We can be reached on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes. Follow me on Snapchat and Twitter, all at the WATE Podcast. Yeah.
And Instagram.
And Instagram. All at the WATE Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Eli, your host. To the WATE, the world according to Eli.
I'm Dad. You already know what it is.
And we are
See
outta
you
here.
next week. Peace. We are out of here.
I'm 20 years old today.
20 years old. One last clap up for that. Yes.
You are now tuned in to the number 1 podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show,